In a world where fame often comes with scrutiny, few television personalities have managed to stay as grounded and beloved as Ben Shephard. Known for his warmth on Good Morning Britain, his quick wit on Tipping Point, and his easy charm that's made him one of ITV's most trusted faces, Ben has long been seen as the model of integrity, both on and off screen. But behind that familiar smile, there's a story few could have imagined, one filled with quiet struggles, long-distance loneliness, and a love tested by the weight of public life. And now, after months of whispers and speculation, Annie Shephard, Ben's wife of over 2 decades, has finally spoken. Her words, soft, deliberate, and filled with grace, have sent shockwaves through both the media and the hearts of their fans. It happened quietly, away from the glare of morning television or glossy magazine spreads, during a charity leadership summit in London, where Annie was invited to speak about the challenges of modern family life and community resilience. She made a statement that would soon echo across the internet. She didn't mention Ben's name outright, but she didn't have to. Her message was clear, her tone trembling with a kind of pain that only comes from love stretched too thin. Annie said, "Sometimes, even in your most private moments, your truth is tested in the most public way. It's painful, but it teaches you what truly matters: respect, peace, and knowing when to let go of control." The room reportedly went silent. Every eye turned toward her, and for a brief moment, the world seemed to stop. It was as if Annie had lifted the curtain on something that had been quietly unfolding behind closed doors. And when she continued, her next words carried even more weight. She said, "There are times when love doesn't fade, but it changes shape. It stops being about holding on, and starts being about wishing the other person happiness, even if that happiness is found somewhere else." Within minutes, her words began trending on social media. Fans rushed to interpret her message. Was this Annie's quiet confirmation that her marriage to Ben Shephard was in turmoil? Or was it a reflection of something deeper, a woman trying to redefine love and strength in her own terms? A silence from Ben. Just hours later, cameras caught Ben leaving the ITV studios in White City. He looked calm, but his eyes told another story. Reporters shouted questions. "Ben, have you heard what Annie said? Is everything okay between you two?" But Ben said nothing. He offered only a faint, tired smile, the kind that reveals more pain than words ever could, and quietly got into his car. According to close friends, Ben had indeed heard Annie's words, and they had deeply moved him. One source shared, "Ben never wanted their relationship to end in anger or confusion. He has always loved Annie's strength and grace, and when she spoke those words, he knew it was her way of finding peace. Ben," they said, "has always admired Annie's ability to remain grounded. Through his early career in radio, his long mornings at GMTV, and the pressure of becoming a household name, Annie was the steady hand that kept him balanced. To him, she was never just his wife, she was his anchor, his calm in the storm. So when Annie spoke publicly, he understood what it meant. It wasn't an attack, it was acceptance." The couple that defined quiet love. For decades, Ben and Annie Shephard were a symbol of stability in an industry defined by breakups and tabloid drama. They met long before fame found him, back when Ben was still chasing dreams and working his way through early television roles. Their connection was simple, genuine, and real. Annie wasn't interested in the spotlight. She was a fiercely private woman who built a life around family, not fame. While Ben's career blossomed, from Good Morning Britain to Tipping Point, Annie focused on raising their 2 sons and supporting local causes close to her heart. Those who know them say their home in southwest London was filled with laughter, warmth, and family dinners that always came before celebrity events. And that's what made this moment so heartbreaking. Because when a love that seemed unshakable begins to show cracks, it reminds us that even the strongest couples are not immune to life's quiet pressures. So, what really happened between Ben and Annie Shephard? Insiders close to the couple say that over time, the distance between them wasn't measured in miles, but in moments missed. Ben's demanding schedule with ITV, his live morning starts, charity appearances, and production meetings often meant long days and nights away from home, while Annie's world revolved around family, keeping life stable, nurturing friendships, and ensuring their sons had a normal upbringing despite their father's fame. As years passed, their worlds, though filled with love, began to drift apart. One friend of Annie's shared, "It wasn't about anger or betrayal. It was about exhaustion. Ben was always giving his best to everyone, his viewers, his colleagues, his project, but sometimes that meant he had very little left for himself or for Annie." It's a story many couples can relate to, the quiet erosion that happens when life's responsibilities outpace its moments of connection. Despite it all, both Ben and Annie reportedly made every effort to bridge the gap. They took family holidays, limited social media exposure, and tried to protect their marriage from public scrutiny. But sometimes, love changes course without permission. And it seems Annie's recent statement was her way of acknowledging that. A private goodbye. After the conference, Annie did not give interviews. She did not post on social media. But those close to her say she felt lighter, as if speaking her truth, however painful, was the only way forward. One close friend revealed, Annie's words weren't about bitterness. They were about gratitude. She's at peace knowing she gave everything she could to that marriage. Meanwhile, Ben has been seen spending quiet weekends in the countryside, reportedly taking time off from television commitments. According to insiders, he's reflecting, focusing on family, and finding meaning in simplicity again, something that fame rarely allows. Ben's heart is tender, said another source. He's not angry. He's proud of Annie for how she's handled everything. That's the woman he fell in love with. Graceful, composed, and strong. A lesson in dignity. What makes this story resonate so deeply isn't just the heartbreak. It's the grace with which it's been handled. Unlike the explosive celebrity splits that often dominate headlines, Ben and Annie's story reminds us that love can end quietly and with dignity. Throughout their journey, there were no harsh words, no public accusations, just 2 people navigating the most human of challenges, change. Ben once said in an interview, "The best part of my life is the bit no one sees. Coming home, sitting with Annie, and just being us." That sentiment now feels more poignant than ever. Because even if their marriage has changed, it's clear that mutual respect remains. And in that, there's something truly profound. The reaction from fans. When Annie's comments went viral, the internet erupted with support. Messages poured in from fans who'd watched Ben on television for years, expressing empathy and admiration for how both were handling the situation. One fan wrote, "If only more couples could part with such grace. Annie's words broke my heart, but they also inspired me." Another said, "Ben and Annie taught us that love isn't always forever, but respect should be." Even among fellow presenters, there's been quiet admiration. ITV colleagues have reportedly reached out to Ben privately, offering encouragement and space to heal. It's clear this isn't just a celebrity story. It's a human story, one that mirrors the challenges so many couples face when life takes unexpected turns. Finding peace in change. Sources say Annie is now focusing on her personal passions, charity work, time with her sons, and projects that align with her heart rather than the public eye. Ben is said to be exploring new creative ventures and considering a short hiatus to reset and refocus. And though there's no official statement confirming a separation, those who know them best say the love between them has simply transformed, from partnership to friendship, from closeness to quiet respect. It's the kind of ending that hurts, but also heals. A love that still matters. If there's one thing Ben Shephard has always represented to viewers, it's authenticity.